What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Weekly Dose of Dano TV with your host, Dano. And if you just give me an hour of your time, I will show you why Weekly Dose of Dano is the best show you're going to find on the internet. There, I said it. Stick around, do what you got to do, get comfortable, share it, like it, do whatever you got to do because it's time for the show. Let's get it.
Hi, everyone. Jeanette Ramos here, CEO and President of It Takes a Village Housing. It Takes a Village Housing is a nonprofit organization that houses women who have been affected by drug and alcohol use while having their children live in transitional housing. Services to include drug treatment, mentoring, counseling for the kids, parenting. We set them up with employment. We help them get everything that they need to get them out into the community. Go to our website, ittakesavillage1.org, and donate. Donate whatever your heart desires, and let's change families one at a time.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Weekly Dose of Dano TV. My people, my guy, Manooch. Dano, what's going on, Manooch? My guy, I can't wait to go ahead and bang it with you in a minute, in a few weeks. I can't wait. Just to let you guys know, I will be attending the Iron Maiden concert with my guy right here, Lou, with the Positivity Posse. Us two are going to go and have such a great time at the Iron Maiden concert because that's what we like. Hey, we like everything, and that's music to me is kind of like a love language. Like I was with a few people the other day, and they were like, "Man, I was just going through my my playlist because I listen to everything besides country music. I can't get into that just yet. But I listen to heavy metal, to rap, to EDM, to all of these different kinds of things. And man, the power of music is absolutely awesome. And I just can't wait to go experience that in person again. I haven't been to a concert, and I can't even remember how long. It's been quite a while, just because there's a lot of energy at these concerts. And I remember, I think the last one that I went to was like professional concerts. I visited people, and they had shows and whatever. But professional one might have been Made in America. I think that was like in 2016, 2017, somewhere around there, which is a long time ago. But I'm really excited about this one. And like I said, if you guys are watching right now, do whatever you got to do to raise your vibration. Because when you're here right now, man, this is a sacred space. And I'm just so happy week in and week out just to be able to bring you guys Weekly Dose of Dano with all the guests, all of your comments, all of your support. it just really, really means the world to me. So thank you guys so much. And if you're watching right now, if you're watching on the replay, wherever you're watching from, please drop a hashtag Positivity Posse #1 to boost the engagement with you guys, so we can, reach as many people as possible, because that's what we want. We want to make this the biggest posse and the best posse that can be. So drop a hashtag Positivity Posse if you guys are rocking with this content right now, which I already know you are, because you always do. You always tell me, whether it's live on the show or even on the side. I'm just very grateful and very honored to be able to bring it to you guys as well. It's absolutely amazing, absolutely amazing. So today we're going to be talking about a few different things, but wherever the show goes, hey, is where it goes. But the intention is to talk about protecting our energy, because man, I really had this was a, I don't want to say a rough week, because rough means that you don't. I just don't like using that word. So it was a challenging week, to say the least, because there was a few things that happened this week that you really can't plan for, and I was like, it's just it's all about having that positive energy within yourself, but when these things do happen, to make it not ruin your week or your day, your month, just to make sure that we are taking the precautionary steps to make sure that nothing outside of us can really get to us. And I know that might be a hard thing to do, because you can say, oh, but what if this person, hits me? What if this person does this to me? Well, most of the time, if it's not a physical act, if it's like just people saying stuff to you or whatever it may be, we have to be the gatekeepers of our energy to make sure that other people can't interfere with that. And there's like, we're going to be talking about triggers too. Some people might get triggered. But that's really your responsibility. You have to do the inner work to say, oh, why am I getting triggered? And what does it really mean for me, and how can I fix it? Because like I said, really other people can't take you out of what it is that you're meant to be, which is a high positive being, and to live the life that we were put on this earth to live. But we're going to be talking about all that. We're going to be diving into all of that in just a second, because you already know there's 2 videos that I want to share with you guys before we get to the meat and the potatoes of everything. Well, I guess this is the meat and potatoes too. Let me not even say that. But just that segment, or what we're going to be talking about during that time. So I already know the number one we got to do right here, the affirmations for happiness. I pick to a page, and every single time, as you already know, I say it week in and week out, but it's because it is the God's honest truth. I pick a random page. Well, let me quote random, because it's not really random, but it always pertains to what we're talking about for the week, whether it's what we're talking about with the guests, or what we're talking about for the topic, or maybe it's something that somebody needs to hear. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to start out with this for the week. You already know. That's what we got to start off with, because last season, is it a weekly dose of Dano show? We don't start out with like a book or a positive phrase. So I remember the last for season 2 that we used to do, we had the 511 ideas, ways, things to know in order to live a happier life, and that book was absolutely amazing as well. I got to still see if I got it. I think I still got it somewhere here, but anyway, this is the page that I opened up to. All right, I like number 60. It's short, sweet, and to the point, actually. The number 60 is this: my life is my canvas. I'm going to say it again. Number 60, my life is my canvas. And I think that is ultra important to understand, and to really think about going into the rest of the night or the weekend or the month, or just to be conscious of it, is because we really are the creator of our realities. And everything that we do experience, I don't care what it is, if it's the best thing to happen to you or the worst thing to happen to you, I believe that everything is attracted into everything that happens to you. Because if you're thinking about positive thoughts, and you're thinking that, hey, I want to make sure that my life is going according to plan, then you have to shape it on the inside of your mind to make sure that, the bridge of incidents, that's a Neville Goddard term. If you guys don't know about him, go check him out. Absolutely amazing. I'm not even sure if he's still alive, but he has some awesome golden nuggets. And the way that he talks about life and dissects it is very in depth, and it's really good. It's a different way of thinking, and I just really like to appreciate all positive different ways of thinking. Let me emphasize that: positive different ways of thinking. So, what do you like being the canvas? It's like there's so many different things that we have to do to make sure that we are experiencing, the things that we want to experience. Let's go to the Eagles. You're so right. Let me shout out to the Eagles. 5-0. That's what I'm talking about. I didn't think we were going to get to this hot of a start, to be honest. I didn't know, because Jalen Hurts, he was kind of questionable, last season, and a lot of people didn't believe in him. But hey, he's starting to go off. And look, there it is, 5-0. I told y'all. There we go. Go Birds, baby, go Birds. Jalen Hurts, yeah, he's proven himself. Maybe he just needed a little bit of time to get accustomed to the system or to just step into his place. All right, there's a difference between positivity and calling it for what it is. If it looks like a duck, it walks like a duck, and it's probably a duck, right? So I don't know. We had 2 seasons of a sample size, and I just didn't think that it was enough. But this season is absolutely amazing, and this is where I'm excited to be, part of the fan base. And man, it's just awesome to see that this stuff is going on here in the city of Philadelphia. And we have so many other things as well. But getting back to it, your life is yours. Shape it to the best one. Yes, 100%. And that's why protecting our energy and our thoughts or whatever it is that we may be going through is so important. Because we don't want that to spiral out of control and to attract more of the things that we don't want into our lives. My God, I've always wanted to see a blue duck. Oh man, that's from Billy Madison. If you guys didn't know, I'm trying to hold it together right here because I really want to laugh, but we got to go on to the next thing. All right. So speaking of great events that are going on in the Philadelphia and Greater Philadelphia area, specifically in Camden, New Jersey, I went to an event last week, and it was awesome. It was really awesome. It was a community event for the Elks Lodge. They were hosting an event for just an annual event that they do. It was a parade, just to help really spread all of the great things that they're doing inside of the community. And when I was there, I took a little bit of footage and I edited the video together. So I want you guys. It's going to be a minute long, so just take this quick minute. Let me know what you think. This was a really interesting event. So here's the video for you guys. Let's go. Yeah, so that was that was just a little glimpse of everything because wow, there was so much that was going on there. They had food over there. They were supporting the kids, different networking opportunities, and just to show that hey, we can come together as a community, especially Camden, New Jersey, to really help each other out. And I feel like community is a big piece of how you shape, your future and everything that happens when you grow up. Not to say that you have to become of an environment of whatever it is, like just because you may see rich people all the time. That might not be the road or the thing that you want to go down. And the same thing with the opposite side. Just because you may see, drugs or violence or whatever it may be, you don't have to turn to that either, because we have the power to shape whatever it is that we want. Yes, 100%. Thank you for the great video. Shout out to Mayor Vic Karstoffen. He was there. He was the gentleman, the last slide that was speaking. So they had the mayor there. They had food. They had the police officers there. They had the firemen there. They had Camden High over there, and everybody was just going to really celebrate, the city and the culture that we have, because we have such a beautiful and diverse range of people here in Camden, and it's just so great. It was a lot better than I expected. I'm going to be honest. I'm not sure what I was expecting, but I wasn't expecting that because it was just everybody having a great time coming together. No issues, and really coming together for the youth of the city and the people that need it as well. So it was a great event. So that was just the video that I wanted to share with you guys, and it was an awesome event. So next time we have it, I'm gonna let you guys know about it. I will be in attendance because it was a great opportunity just to go there, meet people, support the kids, and it was really truly a great event. And speaking of great events, I just want to give a shout out to It Takes a Village Housing, because they had their event as well when it came to it was the first fundraising event, and that event was absolutely amazing. I'm going to make that video for you guys, and I'm going to show it live here next week because it will be done by next week. There was a lot of content that we took, but we went up to to Pennsylvania, and it was near Shady Maple. Well, we went to Shady Maple to go eat. If you guys have never heard of that, absolutely amazing. It's the Amish buffet. Everything that they make is from scratch, and the food was really good. Then we went to go see the Lights and Sounds. with the show David and Goliath. I don't want to ruin it for everybody, but it was an absolutely amazing put together by It Takes a Village Housing. So you guys will get that content by next week, if not sooner, because I'm gonna have it done by the end of this weekend. So shout out to It Takes a Village Housing as well. And yeah, all right. So now, since all of that stuff is out of the way, I'm going to need your guys' help too with the comments, with giving me your strategies, with everything that you do in order to protect your peace. And because there's so many different things that people do. Some people do meditation. That's what I do. Some people are just absolutely just, they don't really let anybody in. And that's another way that they protect their peace, by setting those boundaries. There's so many different ways. So if you're watching this, like I said, live or on the replay, be sure to drop whatever strategy is that you use in order to protect your energy and to protect your peace as well, which is kind of one of the same. When you protect your energy, peace follows in and flows into you. So then it leads into that. So it's same thing, basically same thing. So why even have this conversation of protecting our peace and to make sure, that nothing can really penetrate us into, not in that way penetrate us, right? Manucci, I know you're probably laughing right there. Lou, you're probably laughing too, but not in that way. To make sure that these people aren't hijacking our views, our values, anything that can take us off course into whatever that we're building, whether it's a company that we're building or relationship that we're building. We need these barriers in place to make sure that everything goes the way that we can hope for it to be. Now, obviously, disclaimer, not everything is going to go out the way that we think it will, but I can tell you that it is for our greater good, whether we see it right then or not. It will be for our greater good. And not everything is meant to happen in our time, because there's a power that nobody can really see. I mean, we can feel it and we can experience it, but that's the higher power as well. Their plan, what they got for us, and what I believe that we've come to this earth, we come into these bodies to experience whatever it is that we want, because we know that we can manifest anything we want, and we know we can live the life that we want, but we got to take the steps in order to make sure that that is possible. So, like I said, why have this conversation? There's two reasons why I wanted to have this conversation for today. Number one was because I really did. It was a challenging week. And, if I didn't have the mindset that I did, now, and that I cultivated and preserved, I'm not sure how this week would have gone. But I just know that everything that did happen for this week was for our greatest good, and to make sure that we learn the lessons here on earth that we need to learn. So that's why, and if there's somebody else that might be going through a challenging week as well, just to let them know, hey, you're not alone. I've experienced it. Other people have probably experienced it. Now, to the degree whether it's worse or better, or not as worse, it really doesn't matter, because a challenge is a challenge to anybody. You can't determine how severe it is for other people. So, like, let's say if somebody had a flat tire this week, right? That could be just as detrimental as them as somebody not paying a bill, or they had it could be anything. So it's just really don't rank it on different scales as well, because what it hurts to you, it hurts. It doesn't matter. So like I said, I want to bring this out to you guys just to let you know that you're not alone, and that we can learn from these experiences as well. They don't always have to be positive. I mean, the lesson is going to be the positive, and the blessing is always positive as well. So when we say everything's a lesson or a blessing, but it will work out in our favor as well. I just want to keep saying that. So just because you may not see why everything happened right now, it will all come to light, and you'll know why everything happened the way it did, even if it wasn't the way that you thought it was going to be. So that was the first reason why, because, like I said, if you guys are having a rough week, hey, I experienced it. I feel you, but now we're going to turn that around. We're going to turn it around now. And number two, I just want to say that not everything is here for our greatest good. And what I mean by that is, maybe people, opportunities, experiences. There are some, there's the yin and yang. There's the good and the bad. There's the dirty and the dirty and clean. There's the ugly and the pretty. But we got to make sure that it's kind of like, I don't know if you guys ever read the book, The 48 Laws of Power by, I believe it's Robert Greene. And the reason that I bring that book up is because a lot of people don't like the book because of the stuff that they talk about in there. It's very serious, and a lot of people think that it's like a manipulative book. But if you study that book and understand why you should use it for the defensive, and be aware that if somebody uses it against you, you know how to fight it. It's the same thing with knowing how to protect ourselves, because I mean, newsflash, everybody knows not everything in this world is going to be rainbows and sunshines and butterflies or positive or for your best interest. But once you know these things, you can fight them and you can combat them to make sure to say, hey, you're not going to come into my life. I'm not going to allow you to excuse my language, but I'm going to say it. I'm not going to allow you to fuck everything up for me that I got going on, because I know what I got, I know what I want, and I know where I want to get to. And if I know that you're not going to be there for me, I can use these practices to make sure that I eliminate you, make sure that you're not an obstacle in the way, and it will get to where I want to go, or I will get to where I want to go. Because honestly, guys, yo, expansion and whatever it is that you want to reach, that is going to happen. As long as you take the necessary precautions to make sure that it will happen, it will happen. So it's not about if it's going to happen or not. The question is how easy or how hard you want to get to that point. Because it's like it's like a GPS. It's the best way I can describe it. If you have your point A and you know you want to get to point Z, you can either listen to a GPS, which are different techniques that you have, or books, or movies, or whatever it is to give you that positive flow or affirmations. You will get to A to Z by a step by step program or a step by step guide, and you will get there. But if you're not using these practices, it's like trying to get from point A to Z without a GPS. You're going to get there a lot longer. It's going to take a lot longer for you to get there. And it's going to be a lot more of a bumpy ride because you never know what's going on and without using that GPS. So that's why I want to bring this up for you guys as well. Like I said, I could keep talking about why it's so important to have these necessary precautions and to have these boundaries and to protect your energy, because this is why you will get to where you will want to get to, because it's inevitable that it will happen. And that's the way I think about it. Like, it is inevitable that I'm going to get wherever it is that I want to go, and you can have the same thing too. And a lot of people don't seem to understand that, or they don't realize it, because they look at what's in front of them. Like they see, oh man, well, I had X, Y, and Z bad happen to me weekend. Like, I don't even know if I can get through this, or whatever the case may be. Number one, you can get through anything, because like, I know that sounds cliche that you can get through anything. Of course, well, he's just saying that. No, it really is true. And if you don't believe me, how about you take a second to think about all the things that you've gone through in your life, all the obstacles that you've overcome, and to get to where you are today. You probably thought, man, I could never get through it, or I never thought I could see myself to where I am today, but you did it, right? And this is no different from the things that you've gone through and the things that you've beat in the past. So, like I said, there's a few comments that you guys have on here that I want to go through, because I feel like there's some good stuff in here. Create your own luck. Take care of yourself. Surround yourself with loved ones. You don't ever lose when you keep pushing your mind to be better. 1000%. I agree with this. But Manucci, I want you to actually expand on create your own luck. What does that look like for you? Is it what is luck even a thing? What's luck to you? But well, not what's luck to you, because that's all different. But I want you to talk about creating your own luck. What does that mean to you? What does it look like? And what are some of the practices that you do to share with everybody here, because they might agree with you and they say, hey, well, you know what? That is a good idea. Or you might raise a perspective that they might not have thought about before. Right here, the fire chat. So that's what I'm talking about. My guy, Lou, always here week in and week out. Lou, I love you, man. It's just, thank you so much for everything that you've done for me as well. This is a hefty comment right here, but let's read it anyway. I protect my energy by peace, by meditating, listening to positive affirmations, staying as best as possible, staying away, I guess, from negative people. Negative vibrations are out there. Taking the time to process whatever it is to protect your sanity is priceless. Many times, the best thing is to walk away from negative situations. You will do yourself a favor. Peace is priceless. 100%. Yeah, I think it's so easy kind of to get sucked into negative, what'd you say? Negative situations, because we think that whatever it is that we're going through right now is just like, it's just arbitrary. But I've conditioned my mind. I trained myself to think about, okay, what is the lesson here for me? What is it that I'm trying to learn throughout this experience? And I guarantee you the answer will always be there. It might not be clear cut. You might have to do a little bit of reflecting and looking at everything from a 360-degree view, because if you're just looking at something from one perspective, that's not a good perspective to look at. Because let's just take a problem for an instance, right? if you look at the problem from the same mind that created the problem, then how are you going to find the solution? You're not going to be able to, because you can't see of any other ways, you can't think of any other answers, or you can't be creative to find why it happened in the first place. I mean, there's so many things that go along with that, but yes, all of those things that you did mention 100% are some of the things that I do. And I can't stress enough to anybody watching right now, to everybody watching and anybody, meditate, meditate, meditate. That has single-handedly transformed my life to having, being aimless and kind of just walking around everywhere and not having a direction or purpose. But when I started to meditate, I cleared all of the outside noise. I got in touch with my inner being. And it really showed me the direction that I needed to go in order to get whatever it is that I want. Here it is, my guy. Reggie Henriquez, my guy, bro. Thank you so much. You are true to your word, and your mom raised a really good dude, my guy. Thank you so much, Reggie. I really appreciate that. Awesome guy right here. And if it's the Reggie, I only know one Reggie. I mean, my guy, I can't wait to talk about your event. Reggie has a wrestling event next week, October. I don't even know what day it is, but it's next Friday from whenever you're watching this right now. And today's date is actually, let me just look it up, because it's just a click of the button. All right, it's Friday, October 21st, and we got some big things going on for you guys. We've been working on it constantly, day in, day out. Really haven't been taking a break. Look at this. Got big news for me? Now you got big news for us. You got big news with the Positivity Posse, because what happens to one in the tribe, I promise you guys, it happens to the rest. So that's why I was like, and even the things that may not be so great, and that's why I wanted to check in on you guys and have this conversation on what it means to really protect your peace. And Manouch right here, life is full of negatives just as much as positive. Oh yeah, 100%. Creating your own luck is how you battle the negatives and telling yourself that you will overcome them, thus creating positive flow into your life from your strong will and mindset. Exactly. I want to touch on one of the things that you mentioned right here is how you battle the negatives, right? Battling the negatives doesn't mean that you have to go through a discourse within yourself, where you have to go through so many dips or unnecessary trials and tribulations to get to that point. Battling the negatives could be just being aware of them. Like, just to say, okay, well, this happened to me. I understand that it did, but why did it happen to you? Understand the reason, understand the lesson, and then you can move forward with it. Because if you don't, have you guys ever had that experience where sometimes you just get mad for absolutely no reason? And you're like, damn, I don't even know why I'm mad right now, but I'm pissed off. And then you're like, damn, well, why am I mad? And then you end up forgetting. And it's like, once you understand that you battle the negatives, like you said, and that you are aware of them, you can eliminate them from your life, let them go, become at peace with them, then let them go. And then you will create the room from your inside to leave room for the positive events that will happen to you. Whether it's meeting the right person, or whether it's getting that right opportunity, it's whether, it's going to the gym and lifting a new personal record, whatever it may be. It's very, very important, ultra important, to, exactly like you just said, battle the negatives, be aware of the negatives, so you can move beyond that and leave room for the great things for ourselves as well. Reggie, I'm not sure if you saw it, but Reggie was actually at the event for the Elks Lodge as well. And I played the video, but I'm going to play it for the halftime as well. Actually, we're close to half the show as well. So we're just going to play a quick commercial break. It was absolute. Well, here's some more of the wrestling event. EWA, which is Epic Wrestling Association, live in Camden, Saturday, October 22nd. The show is being called Revolt. So really, if you guys want some more information about that, reach out to me and we will get that going for you as well, because you don't want to miss it. And like I said, if you want that extra dose of Dano, you can see it next Saturday, October 22nd as well. Lauren, my guy, what's going on? It's so great and amazing to see you. I know we had a few conversations. We talked earlier today, and thank you for being here today. So I just want to share with you guys, I'm going to show you for the commercial break. We're going to play one commercial, and I want to show you that Elks video again. I'm going to play it right now for you guys. Let me know what you think. And if you ever needed some, video content done for you guys or commercials done, reach out to me at dosedano@gmail.com. And here's just a glimpse of what you will get from reaching out to me and working with the best. Let's go.
But I received this insight about a title called Prisoner of War. The book.
So everybody, that was, like I said, a glimpse of the Elks Lodge Community Parade. It was absolutely amazing, as you guys just saw in the video as well. But now it's time to get down to what we came here to talk about for today. And it is how to protect our energy, or why we should protect our energy. I mean, there's so many reasons, but here's just a handful of things that I wrote down. So what is protecting energy? I feel like we have a goal in our mind and we know what we need to do to get there, but energy will come in order to try to get us sidetracked, to eliminate us from getting to our goals, but we can't allow that to happen. And I believe that we are always vibrating at the highest level that we should be, and we can be happy every second of the day, because that happiness is a mindset. And I believe that we're always up here, but if we let energy come in that shouldn't be there, it's going to knock us down a few pegs, and it'll take us a little bit longer, or it can just delay whatever it is that we're meant to have at that time as well. So I think a big thing when it comes to protecting our energy is, number one, stop giving other people the power over you and how you react. So I know I used to do this actually when I was younger. I used to try to just like kind of egg people on, just to say like things, or like be an instigator, just to like get a reaction out of somebody. So like if I wanted to make them laugh, I would say a few things. Or if I wanted to just, kind of instigate some drama, like back in middle school, not like in SpongeBob, where he would go like when he would blow the bubbles to SpongeBob and Patrick with it when they were in front, and he would say something to them. Now I would just be like, "Oh, you're just gonna let him sit there? You're just gonna sit there and let him say that about you?" That kind of instigating, which I realize now wasn't the most positive thing to do, but it was pretty funny, at the time. But stop giving other people the ability to get you out of whatever groove that you're in right now. So just because somebody might say, it might be a passive aggressive comment, let's just say about, the clothes that you're wearing. They'll say something like, "Oh, I wouldn't really wear something like that." Or, "Oh, did you gain a little bit of weight?" Or whatever it may be. These people will say different things like that in order to try to get you off track. But if you let them take you off the track, then what you're letting them win. Why are you letting them do that? Stop doing that. What you need to do is say, "Okay, this is gonna sound real corny. But I promise you, this quote is so true. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words may never hurt me." And that is so important to realize, that when people say stuff about you, or it could be behind your back, all of that stuff doesn't matter. Let it go. When people talk, all it is hot air coming out of their mouth. It's just, what is it? CO2, whatever it is that you expel when you breathe, it's the same thing. All of that stuff doesn't have any weight to it. So if you don't give it any weight, when it tries to enter your mind, it's just going to dissolve and disintegrate, because you're not giving it any weight. And stop giving it weight, please, yo. A lot of you guys are like, that you just want to jump on somebody at the first chance that somebody says something negative about you. It doesn't even have to be negative. It could be something that hurts your ego or makes you feel a type of way. But the only reason that you are feeling that way is because you're giving it strength. Stop giving it strength, and stop giving it power over you right now. Cut it out. There it is. End of discussion. That's that one. So number two is, you need to monitor what you consume in order to protect your energy. And consuming can be so many things. It doesn't have to be the food that you eat, like literally consume. I guess literally consume could be like media as well. But some of the things that you need to be wary of as you go about on the day-to-day, or we need to be wary of, because I do it as well. I'm not perfect. So let me include myself into that. Some things that we need to be wary of are the media that we consume. So social media, the news, anything really that has to do with all of our phone and anything that's attached to the media outlet, because all of that stuff is designed to bring you into it more and more, and to suck you into what's going on at that time or that moment. And something that's very interesting, I want to talk about TikTok for a second. Is I actually saw it on TikTok, is actually kind of redundant, but it's pretty funny. But it opened me up to a new perspective, and it's this: is that how do you think that it's healthy to watch a video? I'm going to be honest with you guys. The video that I saw was, I guess it was like a bomb going down in the Ukraine, and I just saw the explosion. And then as soon as I swiped to the next video, it was of a cat dancing and like doing, like they dressed it up and like made it dance around. But how is it that you can go from something so traumatic to laughing, to the next thing would be something about food? So then you're like, damn, I'm hungry. And it really takes a toll on your body and on your mental too. So be careful with social media, especially the news as well. I don't watch the news. I mean, if that's where you get your news from, just always understand that there is a bias to it, but just be wary about where you find it, and check multiple sources too, to make sure that, the story is in order. Because you know how they are. They just go, and whoever puts it up first is what really makes the money nowadays, versus if it's accurate or inaccurate. But that's as far as media that I'm going to talk about, because if anything else, you can do your own research on that. Don't let me just say, hey, don't even take what I'm saying, take it with a grain of salt, because I might say something that you might not agree with. And that's very important too, to protect your beliefs and your peace. And that's that. So number 2 would be food. A big reason that we feel the way we do physically is because of what we're eating. And I can tell you right now, as far as like energy boosts, if you need something energy wise, stop drinking them energy drinks. The Red Bulls and the Monsters, all of that stuff has a lot of sugar in it, and it will give you a sugar crash. So you don't want to do that. CMOS will be my recommendation for you guys in order to get that nice, natural, healthy, gut friendly energy that you need as well. Watch out consuming people. Not literally, not like you're a cannibal or anything. Hopefully not. I mean, if you are, then just go report yourself to the authorities, because that's not healthy. But like I said, not consuming people physically, but the way that you let people speak to you, and the things that you actually entertain when it comes from people, because that, like, again, they could be filled with negative energy as well, and you don't have these people around you at all times. And medicine too. I want to talk about that for a second. I'm not saying that all medicine is bad. No, I'm not saying that at all. Some things are just meant for you to just cover like the surface of it. So like, I know like Advil and Tylenol, like that stuff is meant for pain management, but it really doesn't help you get to the root cause of whatever it is that you're going through right now. So make sure that you're finding, recipes or diets or whatever it is that you need in order to make sure that you're attacking the root cause of the problem. Like I said, there are definitely medicines and things that we do need. I'm not discrediting that at all, but I'm just saying these are the energies that we consume on a day-to-day basis that you might not realize that you're doing, but you need to be conscious of it. And I'm just trying to bring out a different things that we can be conscious of. So Manucci right here says, Pax right here, Jeanette, when people talk, it's always a reflection about themselves. They are miserable, and misery loves company. 1000%. That's one of the best quotes that I've ever heard as well. Misery loves company. So if somebody is in a negative mindset, they're going to do whatever they can in order to make sure that you're down there with them, because nobody wants to be alone. And that's, not just with a miserable mindset, but a lot of people are scared to be alone, which I don't really understand why, because when you love yourself and you're comfortable with being around yourself, then you'll have no reason or nothing to fear while being alone. If anything, you just know that the person you're going to attract is great because you're working on your inner self. And then I say that week in and week out, the outer world and the outer reality from your body has no choice but to reciprocate that same energy that you're emitting. So here we go. Everyone needs to take the words from Finding Nemo. Dory said, when dealing with negativity, just keep swimming. Just keep swimming is right, 100%. Keep going through. And this is kind of hard. This is kind of hard to say, because when dealing with negativity, I know that sometimes it's easy to say, okay, well, I'm just going to keep going through it. Well, there are some times where you're just laying up in bed and you really don't think that you can do it. And it's hard to say just keep swimming when you have your mind locked in on one focus or one belief system, right? So if you're thinking negatively, it can be hard just to say just keep swimming, which I know what you mean. What you should be doing is just keep fighting through it anyway. But I want to get a little bit deeper into just keep swimming or just keep pushing through it. Because there are those times where you don't think that you're going to be able to make it through whatever it is that you're battling, or that the evil will win, which we all know it's not true. As long as you're, a good person and you're doing everything that you can with good intention, it will work out in your favor. So, like I said, there's nothing wrong with this, but when you're in a negative mind space and people just say, "Oh, get over it," or just deal with it, it's not really the best advice, because we want to know how we can keep going, and that's what I'm here to provide for you guys. And like I said, if you have any ideas or questions or comments or anything that you want to share, please drop it in the comments, because somebody else might be thinking about it, and they can agree with you, or that you might raise a new perspective for them to be thinking about certain things. When there's a problem, always go to the root of the problem. That goes with anything in life. 1000%. You guys are blowing it up in the comments. I love you guys as well. Like I said, week in, week out, this wouldn't be possible without you guys. And yeah, so like I said, be careful with what you consume. And that can be like media consumption, food consumption, spiritual consumption, all of that stuff. So all right. This is gonna be a funny one, but it is so true. We have to, in order to protect our energy, we have to watch the physical encounters that we go through. So sorry, I just read this comment. Reggie, you're my guy. You already know I got you. You already know, and that's what I like to do for you guys, because I know how it is. I've been there. I have, there have been times where I didn't think I could get through something, or I've had those ups and downs in my life. But like I said, I just love to be able to share my experiences and knowledge with you guys, because I feel like the way that I think about certain things is not the way that everybody thinks about them, and that's what makes it unique. And I think that's what makes it even better, to help people learn. And that's really what it's all about, to help each other learn and fight through and grow through whatever it is that we're going through. All right. So physical encounters in regards to protecting your energy. Be careful with who you have sex with. Yes, I'm going to say it. Be careful who you smashing and passing. Whatever it may be. Please, sex is an energetic exchange. When you're having your fun with somebody, it's not just the act that you're doing with that person. You're creating a bond with them, right? So if this person has a lot of energy work or inner work that they need to do, and you're connecting with that, you're connecting with their trauma, you're connecting with all of the things that you might not want to take on yourself. It's like when you marry somebody, I believe that you take on their debt as well, and it's the same principle with smashing. You know what I mean? So like, be careful with who you're smashing nowadays. Don't just be smashing everybody and everybody. Number one, to protect your energy, and two, for as we all know, we don't want to catch any diseases, or we don't want to get somebody pregnant that we're not trying to be spend the rest of our lives with. So that's why I wanted to say that, because it's so important. And physical encounters really doesn't even mean have sex with them too. Hugs, or sleeping with somebody, like physically, like next to them, you are exchanging those energies. So just be careful. And even like high fives and handshakes, there is an energy exchange as well. So in order to protect it, we got to make sure that we got to be wary of what we're doing with other people that are surrounding us as well. So yeah, I've been speaking a lot. I might have to play one more commercial and take a sip of my water. But I'm gonna say one more point, and then we will go to the commercial as well. Because I'm starting to get cotton mouth right now. I don't even know why, but I guess when you speak for an hour by yourself, right? It is it does take a lot on your mouth and your throat area as well. Pause. No, I'm just kidding. All right. So number 3, control your environment. When it comes to protecting our peace, we should definitely control our environment. I was having this conversation with another friend of mine earlier this week, and it was about how we keep our environment around us, right? So if you have a dirty room, that translates to a dirty mind. I don't know if you guys have ever had that feeling where, you just cleaned your car out and you just gave it a car wash, and, you put the little trees on there. I like the black ice or the strawberry ones, and I put them, and everything smells good and everything is clean. you will start to feel better about yourself, and you will start to find that clarity, and that energy that you have within yourself will start to become more in alignment with who we're meant to be. But if you have a dirty room or you have a dirty bathroom and everything's just all filthy, then that's, you got to treat it as an extension of yourself, an extension of your mind, because subconsciously, even if it's something that you don't think about every day, subconsciously it is causing that discourse in your body and in your mind. And how are we supposed to operate from a place of positivity and clarity if we don't even have clarity within our external world as well? And there's so many things that we can do as well to make sure that our environments are clear. You know, you can do oil diffusers. That's a big one that I know a lot of people do. They'll put like essential oils inside the thing and diffuse it. There's things that we can post, like, posters, or, you know, post-it notes even around the house, to make sure that we're saying these positive affirmations to ourselves and not having none of that negativity there. Because if we have everything that we're seeing in our house that we're going through, if it's all positive, it's going to go into our subconscious mind and even our conscious mind, to make sure that we are protecting our energy, and to make sure that we are in flow, and to make it nice and really live life to where it's fun, and that you want to be, going out, and you want to be experiencing the things that you want to experience. So, one more thing as well is plants. I feel like a lot of people kind of discredit greenery inside of the house, and I know that you might not be able to take care of a plant, but there's so many like different things that you can do. There's devices on Amazon that you can find that are like self-watering plants, and I feel like with being mindful of that greenery, um, nature is a big part of helping us release all of the things that we don't want into our body, and it will help us get grounded, and to really feel and experience what it's like to be in nature and to be mindful of things, because mindfulness is a big piece of everything as well. And when you're mindful, you're mindful of the attitudes of how other people are treating you, and you're mindful of the self-talk that you have going within yourself. All of this stuff does play a factor. So mindfulness is huge, very, very huge, just to make sure that we are on the right path as well. So I'm gonna play one more commercial, actually, because my throat's starting to get a little dry and I need to go grab a bottle of water. So enjoy one more commercial and I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Yeah, so I had to make that quick. I ran downstairs real quick, came right back up, and I had to get that water, man. And also, to everybody watching out there, hopefully you're drinking your water as well, because water is absolutely essential for our health. And I know a lot of people. I'm still working on it, to try to drink more water as well, because you can never get enough water, right? Well, I mean you can kind of drown, but I'm not trying to bring that up into it. But just make sure that you are drinking your water as well. So number 5, in order to protect our energy, is to make sure that you are aware of anything that is triggering you inside of your life. A lot of people are reactive, man. We're not proactive. We are reactive to the things that happen to us, whether it's on the street or whether it's with our relationships with the people that we care about. We tend to react instead of be proactive. And it is possible to be proactive, because before you walk out of the house, right? Let's say for me, I meditate in the morning. And when I do my meditations in the morning, I always set the intention that everybody that I'm going to meet is going to treat me with love, respect, and kindness. And that really is always how it plays out. I mean, besides, a few cases here and there, I want to focus on the things that will serve me. So, and other people aren't responsible for your triggers as well. A lot of people think that let's just say a couple, for example, right? Two people that are going out, and let's say if the guy leaves the toilet seat up. I think I used this example recently, but let's say that the guy uses the toilet seat, and he uses the bathroom and he leaves the seat up, and then the girl gets real mad because, oh, you're supposed to have it down, it's the courteous thing to do, and all this other stuff. But it's not the guy's responsibility in order to make sure that everything is prim and proper and perfect, right? And what I mean by that is, because you think that other people are not acting in a certain way, that's why it's pissing you off. That's the wrong way to think about it, because nobody else is responsible, number one, for your happiness. You're responsible for your happiness. And two, you're not responsible for other people acting a certain way. So I feel like that's a big piece too, with people saying, oh, if you were to act this way, which is XYZ, I wouldn't be upset. No, that's not the case. They're going to be whoever they're going to be no matter what. And it's up to you to make sure that, you're conscious of your peace and your energy, to make sure that other people don't determine whatever it is that you're feeling. And like I said, excluding, physical violence or anything like that, obviously, you want to be able to control that. But, emotionally, stop letting other people determine what your happiness is. And it's right here, be responsible for you 100%. I couldn't agree more. And the last thing that we're going to talk about for today, in regards to protecting your energy, is always trusting your gut. A lot of people think, and I've done it before too, countless times, where let's say I just met somebody, right? And my intuition or my gut is saying, oh, there's something about this person that's a little off or a little shaky. Always go with your first gut, because especially when it comes to relationships, the more that we get to know people and the more that we find out about their past or who they are or where they've been, we kind of start to, what's the word that I'm looking for? We kind of justify how their actions are, right? So if you know that somebody is bad news from the beginning, and the more that you talk to them, you're like, oh, well, they're not as bad as what I thought they were going to be. I'm not saying to judge people, obviously, but I'm just saying trust your intuition, because there's a reason that you're feeling that way. And I believe this is getting a little bit deep, but I think that, when it comes to the consciousness, I think we all are aware of each other's consciousness and what we're going on inside, right? Inside of our minds, and we're all connected. So if I know that somebody, and that's like what I know you guys have experienced that too, where somebody walks into a room and then you get a bad feeling. Trust that feeling, because it's the same principle as when you're like taking a test, right? Let's say you're taking a test and you're like, the first answer that comes to your head is A, and then you're like, nah, well, I'm going to pick B instead. Then when you get graded and you get the test back, the answer was A to begin with, and you're like, man, I should have listened to myself. You should listen to yourself, because and your intuition is linked with your first mind as well. And that's why it's so really important to trust your gut and to listen to your feelings, whatever you may be going through. Share each other's happiness. You can't create and carry the other person's. 1,000,000%. You can't create their happiness. 1,000,000%. That's a big one that I really want you guys to understand. Nobody can make happiness for you. They can accentuate your own inner happiness. Like, let's say if they were to buy you flowers or chocolates or a gift, that's just accentuating the inner happiness that you have within yourself. But they're not creating the happiness for you as well. They're just a vessel in order to, like I said, accelerate and accentuate your happiness. And you can't carry the other person's as well. So that was really the show for today. I mean, it happened so quickly, and I'm just so grateful for you guys for being here today and dropping all of your positive comments and dropping all of your positive energy and your questions and everything that you had. I really appreciate you guys being here week in and week out for me. And I'm going to be here week in and week out for y'all as well. So next week we have Misty coming on to this show. That's going to be a very fun show. She has a really powerful story, and I can't wait to dive deep into the story, to talk about the lessons, so that you guys might, if you're experiencing the same thing, then, you can learn on how to fight it or how to be better from it. And like I said, this next week, I'm also going to be hosting that wrestling event as well that we dropped earlier in the chat. I hope you guys have a great, wonderful weekend. Please be mindful of the people that you're surrounding yourself with, and really protecting your energy from all the different ways that I told you, the physical ways, the mental ways, the emotional ways. All of this stuff will play a part, and it will play a part to your happiness as long as you're making sure and setting the boundaries to make sure that everything is going the way that you need it to as well. I hope you guys have a great weekend. If you have any questions, reach out to me. Dose of Dano is on Instagram and TikTok. Weekly Dose of Dano TV. Make sure you're following. And I'll see you guys next week. I really, really hope you guys have a great, safe, wonderful, excellent weekend. And I'll see you guys next week for another episode of Weekly Dose of Dano TV. Peace.